What advice would you give to a single person wanting a relationship?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about advice for people who are single but really want to be in a relationship. If you've been following this channel for a couple of years, you remember one of the very first videos I did on Christian dating where I talk about the importance of being a complete person first before trying to find a romantic relationship. But what do you do if you know this to be the case? You know that God's wanting you to focus on work or spiritual growth or your professional development or something like that, but you can't help but feel like you really want to be in a relationship. What advice would we give to you? So in order to help me with this video, I've invited a couple of my friends to share their thoughts with you guys. So if you haven't checked out their channels yet, be sure to subscribe. Links in the description bar below, but let's get started.
All right, you single ladies and men out there.
Well, I would say, first of all, I think it is so important to recognize that this time that you have as a single person is incredibly valuable.
If you're not in a relationship right now, enjoy it. Is that crazy to say?
The season of your life likely isn't going to last forever.
Have you learned to be single? Because I feel as if we do not master being single, if we cannot be comfortable while we are single, then we should not be in a relationship.
Are you sure of who you are and what you bring to that relationship?
Don't rush into it. Relationships take time. And you're not going to be doing anyone any favors if you jump into the wrong relationship. In fact, you're probably just going to end up hurting each other and it's going to scar you in future relationships. Don't rush in. Wait, let God find that perfect person for you.
Take this time to just get as close to God as you can. Just continually seek Him every single day of your life.
Why don't you talk to God about it? And if He is, telling you hey, I'm not bringing you a man or a woman right now. You got to learn to be content right where you are and praise me where you're standing.
And just trust the Lord in His perfect timing and spend time in your own walk with the Lord, because that really is the most important relationship you could ever have.
You know, when you get in a relationship, it's equally yoked as God instructs us. So it's not about you anymore. So are you in a place where you can sacrifice for that other person? Sometimes people just aren't ready to do that yet.
If you're single right now, just be walking with the Lord every single day and strengthening your relationship with Him, because you can never go too far with God. Just keep walking with Him so that when that man or woman comes along, you're ready to be in a relationship.
Believe me, what God is doing in this time where you are single can grow you so much and prepare you to be a spiritual leader in a relationship. So don't take that for granted and don't waste that time either. Seek God every single day as you're pursuing or seeking for a Christ-centered relationship.
Well, there you guys go. Before I jump in and share my thoughts with you guys, I wanted to encourage you guys to jump into the comment section below and to share your thoughts as well. What advice would you give to someone who is single but really wanting a relationship right now? Let us know in the comment section below. But as for me, my advice is to simply try to bloom where you are planted. Again, this is my attempt to try and help you to focus not on trying to find a romantic relationship, but trying to focus on who it is that God is trying to create you to be and to help you grow and to develop into that person. But in a very roundabout way, this actually also will help your romantic relationships, because it helps you become more attractive to that potential somebody that's out there. When you think about the kinds of things that we are attracted to as people, very seldomly are we attracted to people that are just kind of floating or wandering throughout life. People who have no purpose, who have no plan, that don't really have any skill sets, don't have anything that they're passionate about. And this is why it's so important for you to be focusing on what God has called you to today, to bloom where you're planted. Because if you want to be attractive to someone who's out there and you want to be able to find that perfect somebody somewhere down the line, then you need to be able to grow and develop into who God has called you to be. So as hard as it is, as difficult as it might be, bloom where you are planted. Focus on what God has placed in front of you and do that to the best of your ability. And I believe that when you do that, when you seek first the kingdom of God, as we've talked about in other videos, that God will bring all these other things together in His time. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you got to trust Him and realize that God's got a plan for your life. And even though it might be hard, trust Him always. Anyways, I hope that that is helpful. If you have any other questions about dating or relationships or anything else in the Bible, let us know in the comment section below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But until next time, I'm that Christian vlogger and I encourage you to experience faith in the first person. God bless.